Welcome to Second Chance Youth Ranch. I'm your host, Perry Black, and on this show, you don't want to miss it. We have a very special guest, a young lady named Abigail, who's a missionary in Kenya. God called her at the young age of 11, 12 years old, and don't go away for this phenomenal testimony of how God moves in the hearts of young adults. Welcome to Second Chance Youth Ranch TV. I'm your host, Perry Black, and on this show, you don't want to go away because our very special guest, Abby Feckley,
yes, sir,
is here. Mm-hmm. Did I say your name right?
Perfect.
Perfect.
Yes.
And Abby, tell me what Abby means.
Well, my real name is Abigail, so it means her father's joy.
Her father's joy. Mm-hmm. Is your daddy still happy?
Absolutely.
I'm a father of two girls, and I can tell you, I should have named them both Abigail, because I am one happy pappy.
I love that.
Yeah. So tell me a little bit about you, and before I ask you just a whole series of totally unrehearsed questions, because I want our audience to get to know you and how they can be involved in what God's doing in your life. Mm-hmm. You're the founder of Blue Door Ministries, and so we're going to be promoting that throughout the show. But what I want to know is a little bit about you.
Okay.
Where'd you grow up?
I grew up in Little Rock, Arkansas, so I've lived here my whole life. Your
whole life? Are you done? Or you got more life to live?
I mean, I would assume so,
hopefully. You've lived theirs up until now.
Yes, sir.
I haven't even lived my whole life yet.
I mean, that's true, thankfully.
So there's plenty of time to continue, and God's using you in ministry overseas. So you grew up in Little Rock, not your whole life, but up to this point.
Yes, sir.
Now, where did you go to college?
I went to the University of Arkansas in Fayetteville.
University of Arkansas, Fayetteville. Did you major in anything particular?
I majored in business management with like an emphasis in international business.
My daughter is a business major.
Okay.
She graduated, ultimately she was at Fayetteville. She was an RA up there, resident assistant, what I know you know what that means, maybe somebody else doesn't.
Yes, sir.
But she ultimately graduated UALR because she got married.
Oh, wow. Yeah. I loved my time in Fayetteville. Yeah. It was great. It's such a beautiful city.
It is. And it's a growing city, too. It just keeps growing and growing and growing. We love, both of our girls went there. We loved going up there and visiting them. And I'm wearing my Razorback socks.
Woo,
didn't even realize you were a Razorback. I'm doing that in the honor of the baseball team.
Because they're like killing it right now.
They are killing it.
It's impressive.
So tell me, did you graduate Fayetteville?
I did. I graduated in December, so
December of 2020? Right in the heart of COVID, you graduated college.
Yes.
Did you actually get to go to school?
I mean, yes, sir. It was online. So I was lucky that I was like, if all my summer plans are canceled, I might as well take summer school and be able to graduate a semester early. Yeah. And that was like the best decision I ever made.
My married granddaughter that I was talking to you about offset, she's at Fayetteville, sort of, kind of, right now, online, and getting ready to move to Italy.
It's definitely a transition from being in the classroom to being online.
Yeah,
it takes a whole nother level of discipline.
Yes, it does. So tell me a little bit then, somewhere along the line, I normally wouldn't ask this of a young lady, but you're 20, how old?
22.
And I want people to understand your age because of what God's doing in your life. Tell me, somewhere along the line, in the midst of college and COVID and everything else, you somehow got involved with overseas missions. How did that get started, which ultimately has migrated into Blue Door Ministries?
Yes, sir. So it actually didn't start in college or high school. It actually started in middle school when I was 13. So I just went to Kenya on a mission trip because I wanted to see kind of what God was doing across the world, and that's how I got started in missions.
You went at the age of what?
13.
Now, your mother's offset. I'm going to have to talk to her. You mean at 13 you went to Kenya on a missions trip?
Yeah.
I wouldn't even let my children spend the night with a friend at 13.
Right, and she sent both of us, me and my sister, who was just 14 at the time, and she was like, y'all have fun, like, we'll see you when you get back.
Now, a friend of mine, Ron Luce, did world missions with teenagers all over the world. My niece went to somewhere with him and his ministry, and course, many ministries that really engage with young people. What group did you go with?
So I went with some friends who actually had lived in Kenya at one point, so they were known to take a bunch of teenagers, like you said. So
like a bunch. How many's a bunch?
I think there was like 25 of us, which like maybe isn't like a ton, but when you're taking someone across the world 8,000 miles away, it takes a lot of planning with teenagers. So I consider that a lot.
So was this a missionary family?
Yes, so it was a missionary family who lived in Kenya, and then they came back to the States and would just take people as they would go.
So was it a group of students? You went to Little Rock Christian High School, so
Yes,
was
sir.
it a group of students from that school or from your church?
It could be from both, but a lot of them were students from Little Rock Christian because it is a Christian school, so they always encouraged us to be mission-minded.
Is that why they call it Little Rock Christian School?
I guess so.
As I told you, my niece is a teacher there, and so that's a great school, and it's in a great location.
Yes, sir.
And so tell me, at the age of 13, what transpired in your life that caused you to be motivated enough and somehow convince your mom that you and your sister
Yes, sir.
should go to Kenya 8,000 miles away?
Well, I think it started like ever since I was little, like 4 or 5 years old. My mom always made it a point to take us to like the homeless shelters or the soup kitchens or the nursing homes. And so I grew up my whole life just serving on a weekly basis. And as that love of service grew in my heart, then I wanted to like expand that. And to me, like at 13, the next level was going to Africa. So
yeah, that's what I got up this morning thinking. I want to go to the next level. Where can I go in Africa?
Yes, sir.
So tell me, what transpired in your personal life? So let me rephrase the question.
Okay.
Where do you go to church?
I go to Fellowship Midtown.
Fellowship Midtown. Where is? I know Fellowship Bible Church,
Yes,
but where's
sir.
Midtown?
So Midtown is the new campus that they launched 3 years ago in the heart of like Midtown Hillcrest area.
Oh, yeah.
So my youth pastor actually is the pastor of Fellowship Midtown. So
Oh, them youth pastors. They'll cast vision.
Absolutely.
Youth pastors are always on fire for Jesus, always.
you have to be when you're
Yeah.
leading young people
You have
because
to.
young people like follow after that desire.
Yep.
And so it's true, like they're the best at casting vision and getting you excited for the gospel.
Well, I want to hear more about your personal story. Then we're going to talk about Blue Door Ministries.
Yes,
So we're going to take a brief break, and we'll be right back with Abby.
A mission field around you is filled with young hearts needing a forever family. And at Second Chance Youth Ranch, our team is committed to providing healthy, stable, loving homes and families to hurting children in the Arkansas foster care system and those up for adoption. Please contact us if you feel the tug at your heart to help foster or adopt, and find out the steps you could take to help fulfill a child's lifelong dream. Maybe you can't foster or adopt, but you could help. The need for thousands of children in the system is staggering. But with the help of faithful partners and business alliances, we are meeting those needs right now. Would you help us make a difference? Every gift, regardless of size, impacts a child's life directly and helps provide for a home in the gap right now. Visit the Second Chance Youth Ranch website at 2CYR.org to read more, watch the stories, and to make a contribution for a hurting child's care. Monthly partners are needed, so please contact us right away. And as you partner with this ministry, you are partnering with the Heavenly Father that has promised to be Father to the fatherless. God bless you for helping Second Chance Youth Ranch.
Hey, welcome back. I know these brief breaks are inspiring you to find out more about fostering, mentoring, and adoption. But on this program, we want to inspire you and your young person to become all they've been created to be. And our special guest on this program is the founder of Blue Door Ministries, Abby Feckley.
Yes, sir.
Did I say your name wrong that time?
No, you're okay.
So, Abby, tell me, at the age of 13, you and your sister went to Kenya. But, you know, just anybody can go to Kenya.
Right.
When did you come to Jesus?
Right. I came to Jesus when I was 11 years old. I was at a Christmas Eve service, and I was on like one of the front rows, and I just like felt like, you know, like when you're like responding to Jesus, like it's just this overwhelming feeling of like recognizing you're a sinner. And I just remember crying the whole service. And
You were a sinner?
Yes, absolutely.
You know, that's shocking to many people. We're born apart from God. And how hard was it for you to accept Jesus at the age of 11? How hard was that?
I feel like at the moment it wasn't hard, but following what God asked us to do is the difficult part, because like part of my story is I became like really angry and like defiant, and I was almost sent to boarding school because like my parents didn't know what to do with me. And it wasn't until
the joy of your father.
Right, I know. Can you imagine? So it just shows that like God really turns your life completely around, because like when I tell people that part of my story, they're like, we don't believe you. But like that's what God does in our lives. Like he takes us to where we are and then brings us into who we're created to be.
I was sharing with a coworker. I worked in the grocery business, and I was sharing with a coworker about my relationship with Jesus and how he needed one. And he looked at me, he said, "You what?"
Right.
He said, "I thought you were raised in church." I said, "No, that wasn't my problem. I was raised at home."
Right.
and my family was a little bit dysfunctional. I say my family was dysfunctional before dysfunctional was cool.
Okay.
So at 11, you give your life to the Lord. You're on the front row.
Right.
Now, who coerced you to sit on the front row? Your parents?
Probably, yes, sir. They're
Were they
always
very involved in the church?
They're always front row people.
Yeah.
Even now, we sit the row right behind the pastor.
There you go.
There we are, front
That's
and
a
center.
great place to sit too, because there is a manifest presence of God on the spiritual leadership of a church, and I tell you, it will ooze over and get on you.
It'll just hit you.
So tell me, at the age of 11, you gave your life to the Lord, which was a fairly simple thing. Was it like during an altar call?
I think at the end during Christmas services, they always give the invitation.
Yes.
And so like I accepted the invitation, but like I didn't really realize the fullness of it until I was like going up the escalator, and my parents were like, "Are you okay?" And I was like, "No, I just accepted Jesus."
You were going up an escalator?
So
you have a large church.
It used to be at the State House Convention Center for like Christmas Eve service. And so we'd always go there.
And invite the public, I guess, open to everybody.
Yes, sir.
And who was the pastor back then? What was the church then?
At that time, I went to the church at Rock Creek with Pastor Mark Evans.
Pastor Mark, yeah. Okay.
Yes, sir. So that's when I really accepted the Lord.
Wow. But somewhere between 11 and whatever you are now,
right?
You kind of had some issues. What influenced you as a young tween or teen where you started having some adjustments?
I think mostly like I'm just like a very like stubborn, strong-willed person, and so I feel like when you don't channel that in the proper way, then it can just like go off.
Can I slap you 5 right now? You know, give me 5.
I was like, are you gonna?
Can I just slap you upside down? Let me tell you, when I teach on parenting, I used to travel nationally and speak on parenting. The number one question was always, what do I do with a strong-willed child? And I said, you thank God for them.
Right.
Now, you don't at the moment.
Right,
but
it's true.
A strong-willed child is either going to be a leader or a leader. And Satan really works hard to take leaders, destined leaders, to get them off track.
Well, I remember like in that season when I was super defiant, like I wasn't being able to like control my anger. Like I remember one night my mom came in my room and she was like, "Abby, Satan's fighting for your life. What are you going to do about it?" And like when she spoke that to me, like it was almost like a light bulb went off, because like what you're saying, like Satan does try extra hard when he sees like the potential that you could have for the kingdom. Because if he can get you young, then it just delays the trajectory of like what God has for you.
Absolutely. All right, so then what happened? We've got 1 minute and 50 seconds.
Okay.
What happened then, and at what age were you when Mom spoke to you? You had that light come on. What happened?
So I feel like when she said that to me, it was like it kind of threw me out of like what I was doing daily, and it just kind of put perspective back into me. And so as they started like loving on me and talking to me like through it, I started getting back to my first love, which was like serving and being able to like help people who couldn't help themselves.
You got outside of your head.
Yes, sir. And so when that shift happened, then that's why I really wanted to go to Africa and serve on another level. And it just kind of, I realized that like my heart was going back to what God had created it to be.
So did you have a moment where you made a rededication of your life and then started taking those steps back into active service?
I would say like the rededication was when she said that to me and the light bulb went off. It was kind of like, okay, I've been doing things in my own way. Like, I want to get back to God.
And how old were you?
I would say like 12 maybe.
So only for about a year you really had some defiant issues. Boom, 12 years old.
Like a year or two probably.
So I think what the audience needs to hear is maybe they missed because you just kind of said it casually. Your mom walked in and said, honey,
right.
My paraphrase, devil's trying to take you to hell.
Right.
And you went, wait a minute. And you really did a refocusing on what is the purpose of my life. Isn't it sad that we spend our whole life climbing the ladder of success only to get to the top to find that ladder's against the wrong wall?
Right.
But God was gracious. Your parents were loving. They didn't give up on you.
Right.
And moms and dads have a huge influence in the lives of young people. To this day, I start talking about my mama, I start crying.
Right, it's
so
true.
We're going to take a brief break, and then we're going to really talk about Blue Door Ministries and the ministry that Abby has in Kenya.
Yes, sir.
So don't go away. We'll be right back.
I'm Parut Philip Kilelu. In the Maasai culture, they do value boys more than girls because they say boys they are stronger than girls, and the boys they will remain in the home, the girls will be married out. So they say a boy is a shield of the home. Men are the one to say, not ladies. If a father said it is this, the lady has nothing to say. Is to follow the rules, what the father said. No matter it is wrong, no matter it is good, you must follow.
What we're also working towards in Maasai land is helping the next generation to change the culture. It's hugely important. It is hugely important for the boys to be educated because the boys and the men completely rule the society. We are rescuing the girls, yes, but if the boys are not educated, it's not going to help the women.
In culture, they say it is a shame for a man to work in the house while a lady is there. I came to realize in school that all men and ladies are equal. We swept a class, all of us. We go to the kitchen. If the chef said, can you make a line? We make together. We mix and with the girls. If it is washing, we wash together. You see, we eat together. Then I came to realize we can work, all of us, and education have changed us in that way. So now when I go home, I can fetch water, or I can wash the utensils. I can also clean the house, sweep the house. Our culture said girls are not important for them to be educated. And our parents, they don't want to educate them. But to me, I can see it is very important for them to get education because maybe they will prosper even more than us. Then we might go tomorrow to them to find assistance. We are not now looking what the tradition say, that men are not supposed to do this, only women. No. Me now and my brother here, when we go home, we work together. Girls are there, but we work together.
Hey, welcome back to Second Chance Youth Ranch TV. Our special guest is Abigail. Abigail, believe it or not, is a missionary since she was really 13 years old. And then you founded Blue Door Ministries at 14. You know what I was doing at 14? My mama didn't even know what I was doing at 14. So God has taken you on a wonderful, beautiful journey. But even I don't understand why the door is blue.
Yes, sir.
Why is it called Blue Door Ministries?
Okay, so when I went at 13 years old, I thought I was going to go change the world of Kenya, because you're just ambitious, you're going to think you're going to like change the world. And really the level of poverty that I saw in Kenya made it to where like I could only observe, and I don't feel like I was much help. But the only thing that I remember is all the kids would get so excited when you took their picture, like it was like the biggest deal. So I decided when I came back that I wanted to buy like a mobile printer with my babysitting money and take their pictures so they would have something of themselves. So when I went at the age of 14, I had all the kids, took their pictures, printed them off for them, and you should have seen the excitement.
Took the picture, printed it, and handed them
it straight to them. And I found a blue door that was at the school and just took the kids' pictures because I was like, this will make a beautiful picture. So that night I was in the living room talking with the woman who had founded the school, and I just looked at her and I was like, what is your biggest need? I'm always one to ask a million questions. So she just said sponsorship. So I kind of just left her, went up to my room underneath my mosquito net, just started flipping through the pictures that I had taken that day, and just felt God, like my heart was racing and my palms were sweaty, and I just like felt like he said sponsorship is your part to play. So that's kind of how Blue Door started, because then I flew home, sat on the couch with my parents, and I was like, I need y'all to know that like God is asking me to start a sponsorship program.
And you're 14?
Yes, sir. What do you think? And the great thing is a lot of parents, I feel like, shut down like the dreams and the visions that their kids have.
Oh, it'll pass when you grow up. Yeah.
Right. And my parents were just like, if this is really from the Lord, then he'll bring people to help you. And so I wouldn't be where I am today if they hadn't have given me that support and really just let me go on this journey with God.
You know what you keep telling me is the importance of supportive parents, parents that are involved, engaged, and in prayer, and supportive of the call of God on your life. We know from Scripture that God has a plan for us before we're ever formed in our mother's womb. And outside influences, parents, preachers, teachers, youth ministers, and pastors all have a huge impact in how this journey unfolds. So tell me, what is Blue Door Ministries doing? Because you're getting ready to go back.
Yes.
And you will be in Kenya until December of 2021.
Yes, sir.
What do you do while you're there, and are you associated with another organization where you're really networked?
Right. So Blue Door Ministries, our mission is to really rescue and raise up the children of Kenya. So in Kenya, like, there's so many children and so many families of poverty that like moms make $1 a day washing laundry and washing clothes, and if you're making like $5 to $6 a week, how are you supposed to feed all your children, pay your rent? So you just walk around and see all these kids with such potential, but they're just sitting at home because their parents don't have another option. So we really try to find the neediest children in the community and bring them in to our school. So
who is we and what is the school?
Right, so we as Blue Door Ministries, and the school is called called Harvest School. So we actually have 3 different schools and 1,400 children that God's entrusted into our care.
Blue Door Ministries has 3 schools.
Yes, sir.
What do they do at school?
So at school, we teach them, of course, how to read, write, mathematics, but also we want to teach them how to love God, what it means to be a child of God. So I feel like in education, you have a special opportunity to kind of merge the two together, because that's what I did at school.
All right. So the children that come, is there a cost for the children in Kenya to attend the school, or do y'all provide all the curriculum, all the teaching, everything?
So the children don't pay anything to come to school. So we are a sponsorship-based model where for $40 a month, people sponsor children, and then we provide like the books and different things like that. And so we solely work on donations to help run the school.
Totally faith-based school. A school where you're introducing these young children, not just to education, but who God is, who Jesus is, that He is the way of salvation. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to look at the camera. This is your big chance. I want you to talk to our viewers, because this is about fostering, mentoring, and adopting. That's what this show's about.
Right.
But the sad reality is we don't want to just reach our state. We want to reach the whole world.
Right.
And our viewers can be involved in Blue Door Ministries. How?
Okay.
And I'm going to tell you, as I said earlier, the information will be here on the screen.
Right. Perfect.
So look at that camera and talk to our folks out there and tell them how they can be involved in Blue Door Ministries.
Okay, so we're super excited that we get to share our story, because we know that without people like you, we wouldn't be who we are today. These children need people in America and around the world to really support them. So a huge way that you can help is just to sign up to sponsor a child. It's $40 a month, which to us doesn't seem like that much, but it means the world to the kids. So you can go on the website, like he said, that's at the bottom of the screen, and just email us and let us know that you want to sponsor a child. But also, if you don't want to do that, we run on donations. We can't do what we do without people just having the heart of generosity to reach people in Kenya who might not have another chance. So we always say we try to be the voice for the voiceless children. We want to amplify their voice and give them an opportunity that they might not have otherwise.
Now, if you're not on fire, excited, and involved, why not? Blue Door Ministries is an example of a young lady at a young age who responded to the call of God. I believe that you're watching this program right now by divine appointment, and I encourage you to contact Abby's ministry or contact us here at 2CYR-TV and get plugged in and get plugged in today. Your seed can change a life forever. God bless you. We'll see you again next time right here at Second Chance Youth Ranch TV. Bye-bye.